Yes, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to online sessions here. We are continuing for PPS or CP subject, I would say, because we have GTU students having subject programming for problem solving. We do have few Marwari University students also here in this meeting, and they are having computer programming, CP subject. Nevertheless, content will be common for all, and that's why we have a common meeting generated for this entire syllabus or the subject. Now, before we dive in to the content and have a look at what this syllabus or the course subject is all about, I want to give a little bit of my introduction here because we are meeting here for the first time. And yeah, one more thing. As I can see, we have a number of students from Gujarat as well as out of Gujarat and other. So it won't be feasible for everyone if I speak in Gujarati. Well, that's not possible, right? So कुछ ऐसा करते हैं कि मैं बीच में कुछ हिंदी भी बोलूँगा, so non-Gujarati students can get it. And most of my lecture will be in English, but I'll make sure that I'm not speeding up, so you'll have time to digest my statements, and I'll also convert some of the statements which are important to Hindi, right? So I believe that will be okay for everyone. Now, as I said, let me give a little bit of my introduction here. I'm Tejas Chauhan. I'm associated with Marwari University since 2011. Right, so have a long journey here. I've been continuing my PhD also. Well, I have posting in IT department. So whether CE or IT, actually in our campus, computer IT department are working together, and my posting is in IT department since I joined this institute. I've taken number of subjects till now. Started my journey with CPU, which is the same subject we will be talking now. PPS was earlier known as CPU, Computer Programming and Utilization. And then maybe around 2012 or 13 at max, I don't remember. It was the last time I taught PPS or CPU subject. Later, I've taken all my subjects in the higher semester. It's a data structure in third semester, web technology related multiple subjects in fifth, sixth, or seventh semesters. I've also taught compiler design, system programming, and theory of computation in higher semesters. I've gone for design and analysis of algorithms in sixth semester. Network and advanced computer networks in final year also. Well, so that's a small list, I can say, not the complete list, but a small list of subjects that I've taught till now. Currently, I'm taking web programming subject in computer branch, sixth semester. Along with that, I'm having advanced web programming subject in IT department, sixth semester. And the third one, which is this PPS or CP subject that we are going to start today, in second semester. Well, that was a very short description of my journey that I wanted to give you all. Now, I'm not going to ask any one of you, because we have more than 200 students here, and it won't be feasible to cover all. And to be very frank, I'm not going to remember everyone, so I'm sorry that I can not remember those many names in a single shot. And hopefully, very soon, we will be in a normal situation, and if possible, we'll start physical lectures here. Then face-to-face conversation will be more feasible for me. Well, that doesn't mean that we cannot learn this subject or anything online. I know that you are a first-year student, and to concentrate on something new is very challenging task for all of you guys. So for this subject, what we are gonna do here is I'm going to use a digital slat. I'm going to use pen and a blank paper. I'm not going to have only slides or only program. So that's how we will continue in this subject, okay? I'll have a little bit of presentation slides, then more of my work for lecture will be based on pen and paper, and we'll go with that flow. ठीक है? So मैं digital slat भी use करूँगा, pen paper की तरह हम पढ़ेंगे. If we do not have board and marker physically, then we'll have a digital board here. So even I can make you focus on some points which is more important, right? Throughout my journey of these many years, I know that students are making mistakes in some points, and that's where we need to focus more. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है मैं आपको बताते जाऊंगा throughout the lecture. I'll also tell you this is the important topic, this is easy or this is complex one, and so you can also make your notes side by side. Okay, so in our lecture, online lectures, you can also keep your book, pen with you guys, so whatever you want to make a note, you can. Along with that, we are recording this session, so later on, if you want to refer this recording, then it is going to be uploaded in YouTube, and you can have a link of those recordings from your student portal, and if you go to lectures part and select a date, then you'll have all the lecture recordings in your student login. Okay, well, so that's all about small initial part. Now, not audible clearly. Some of the students are making that point. Let me have a look at if I can. If I can increase my voice a little bit, and then we'll continue. So just a minute. Well, let me stop my video. I don't want it. And a minute, speaker and microphone. Yeah, hopefully now it will be clear, right? Thank you for pointing out. And yeah, Poojan is asking, do we need to submit class notes? No. Look, I'm never gonna ask you about your class notes. So we'll cover those things in the discussion of this syllabus content. Okay. Yeah. So let's have a look at the syllabus content now. As far as my knowledge is concerned here, I know that EC1, EC2, ED1, so computer and IT divisions are here. And then EA1 and EF1, mechanical and I believe automobile students are here. So those students from GTU perspective, they're going to have this teaching scheme. Okay. Now, electrical students, if I'm not wrong, then you are from Marwari University background. And in that one, you are going to have a different teaching scheme. Now, we will also cover that part here. Okay. We will also go through the teaching scheme of Marwari University syllabus later on, right? But the content of both these courses are same. So whatever topics that we are going to learn here is going to be 100% same in both these branches. Okay. So let's have a look at first GTU teaching scheme. Now, in a second semester, we are at a very basic level of this computer field. And as every university need to follow that, first year students need to have a knowledge of every other fields. So that's the reason आप कंप्यूटर के सब्जेक्ट भी पढ़ते हो, आप मैकेनिकल के सब्जेक्ट्स भी पढ़ते हो, आप फिजिक्स भी पढ़ते हो, मैथ्स भी पढ़ते हो, एनवायरमेंटल स्टडीज भी पढ़ते हो, and so on, right? So an engineer must know all the fields. If not deeply, then at least an overview must be there, right? So, well, computer and IT students need to learn the subject thoroughly, because this subject is going to be the base for them to learn other programming languages. Now, if I talk about mechanical, electrical, AC or civil, automobile students, then as the name suggests here, programming for problem solving. Now, we will be focusing a little bit on a C language here, but more of this subject is focusing on problem solving part. How you can solve a problem, how you can think for a solution of a problem in a systematic way. And then if you want to create some kind of a program, we will be having C language here in detail. So we'll be following C programming language. So that's what the programming part is. Need to learn a syntaxes of programming languages here, and that's what all this subject is about. We are gonna learn C language syntaxes, some structures, data types, functions, recursions. So this is a procedural structure, then kind of a memory structure and all. So at least you should know how you can store your data in computer, and how you can access those data if you want, and how you can perform a particular task on that data, right? So that's why we can say this subject is a base for problem solving as well as kind of a programming also, if you want to program. Now, if you know this C language properly, then you will be able to learn any other language very quickly. Well, so again, back to this subject, programming for problem solving is what we call this subject or a course name. Now, GTU students are going to have total 150 marks, and it's a 4-credit course. So as per the university, you have 3 hours of lectures, 2 hours of practicals. But what we are following here is we will be having 4 hours of lectures in a week and 2 hours of practical labs. Okay, that makes it 4-credit course. Now, GTU students are going to appear for 70 marks paper and semester exam. So at the end of the semester, you are going to have 70 marks examination, final exam. Then you have 30 marks of mid exams, so mid semester exams here. 30 marks of Viva. Viva will be at the end of your semester. And 20 marks of internal component, which covers your practicals and the assignments, which you need to complete throughout this semester. Okay. And that comprises of total 150 marks. Fine. Now, about Marwari University students, electrical department, same teaching scheme, 4-credit course, 3 hours of lecture, 2 hours of lab. We change it to 4 hours of theory lectures in a week and 2 hours of practical. 150 marks. But the division of marks is somewhat different here in Marwari University. Now, MU students are going to have 100 marks end semester exam. So final exam will be of 100 marks, which will be converted to 50 marks ESE component. Then 30 marks of your mid exams, right? 20 marks for your CSE, continuous evaluation, where you are going to submit your assignments. Then 25 marks for end semester Viva. At the end of the semester, we'll have Viva on this one. And 25 marks for your practical submissions. Okay, so that's what the mark distribution, total 150 marks is. Fine. Well, going back to this one, because now on, we are going to follow the same topics and everything in both GTU and MU. Well, we'll cover all those textbook related things and all other things. Just bear with me. Be patient. We are going to cover everything here. Okay. Now, if you look at the topics that we are going to cover here, then it looks somewhat lengthy part. But have a look at the total hours that need to be spent to cover those topics. As per the university, all the units are about 4 to 5 hours, or at max 6 hours of content they have, right? Which means list of topics is lengthy, but we can cover those topics in less time. We'll start with the introduction part. Now, it might be the case that some of you are not having any kind of background related to computer. It may be the case, right? ऐसा हो सकता है कि कोई स्टूडेंट ऐसे भी हैं जिसके पास कंप्यूटर नहीं है, or they do not know what computer is, how to operate. Well, as long as we are going for online sessions, it's not possible that you will have computer physically with you, but hopefully very soon we'll start physical sessions on campus, and then you will be able to use all our laboratory resources and you can have computers in your hand. जो students ऐसे हैं जिसके पास already laptop या computer है, they can work on their own personal computers, right? But here what we will see is how those computers work. We'll have a little bit of introduction to hardware and softwares, different types of softwares, then how do we write program and how computer is going to understand that program using compiler and interpreter. So हम ये भी देखेंगे कि compiler क्या होता है, interpreter क्या होता है, what is hardware and software. We'll also look at few basic components of computer like keyboard, mouse, monitor. Well, that's very basic, but what is CPU? Now, inside that CPU, what we call CPU is the, अगर आपके पास desktop है तो side जो बड़ा सा डिब्बा है आप उसको CPU बोलते हो. Well, that is not CPU actually. It is a CPU cabinet. उसके अंदर काफ़ी सारी अलग अलग चीज़ें होती है, जैसे कि मदरबोर्ड है, आपकी हार्ड ड्राइव है, मे बी CD ड्राइव या DVD ड्राइव है. मदरबोर्ड के ऊपर आपकी रैम है, प्रोसेसर है, इवन यू हैव अ पावर यूनिट बिल्ट इन दैट कैबिनेट. अगर आपके पास लैपटॉप है तो सारी ये सारी चीज़ें जो है लैपटॉप के अंदर ही आ जाती हैं, राइट. Within your laptop you have RAM, hard disk. अगर आपका फुल लैपटॉप है तो CD ड्राइव भी होगा, नोटबुक है तो CD ड्राइव नहीं होगा. Well, you have instead of mouse you have a touchpad, you have screen can be touch screen also, but those are the components. And when we talk about processor, processor को भी हम 3 भाग में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. It's ALU, CPU, ALU, MU, and CU, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit, right? So वो जो है सारे parts कंप्यूटर के या प्रोसेसर के हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे. And that's all about, that's what the first unit is all about. So, प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस अलग अलग लेवल के जो होते हैं उसका इंट्रोडक्शन लेंगे. व्हाट इज मशीन लेवल लैंग्वेज, व्हाट इज असेंबली लैंग्वेज, एंड व्हाट इज हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज प्रोग्रामिंग, एंड सो ऑन. एंड टू फाइंड द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम, व्हाट वी डू इज वी एक्चुअली नोट डाउन अ नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स, राइट. हम स्टेप बाय स्टेप अगर किसी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं, देन all those steps are actually called algorithms. And अगर वही सारे steps आप कुछ graphically display करते हो, then it becomes a flow chart. So we will see what flow charts and algorithm means and what is the structure of writing algorithm or drawing the flow chart. So that's what your first unit is all about. Then from second unit, we will start C programming language. This is the first time I believe you are learning a programming language. Possibly आप में से कुछ लोग ऐसे भी हो सकते हैं जिन्होंने स्कूल में ऑलरेडी C लैंग्वेज सीखा हुआ है. हो सकता है, because I know even Gujarat board has C programming language in 10th standard right now. So maybe some of you have already seen C programming language and you know how to write C programs and all. But what we will do here is we'll start from the very basic, the first hello world program. And हम ये भी सीखेंगे कि C program का structure क्या होता है, कैसे हम C program लिख सकते हैं, अगर उसे compile करना है तो कैसे कर पाएंगे. And once we compile it, तो मशीन जो लैंग्वेज समझता है उसमें कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. Then how to execute that code, हम उसे रन कैसे करें. Once we understand that part, तो फिर हम क्या करेंगे, धीरे धीरे हम उसके डेटा टाइप्स, उसमें कोई वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करना हो to store data. Then we will also see some operators, mathematical and logical operators, how we can convert those data types, and IO functions we will see. So how we can take input and output. Okay, so we take some input from user and we perform some task and then we output our answer on the screen. So those are the IO functions we are going to cover here in second unit. Right? Excuse me. Now, starting from third unit, we are going to cover some deep concepts of any programming language, actually. The control structure. So decision making, looping, and nesting part will come here. हमें अगर डिसीजन लेना है बेस्ड ऑन सम डेटा, अगर ये है तो ऐसा करो, ये है तो ऐसा करो, otherwise you do this, and so on. So decision making statements, then looping statements, which means if we want to iterate something here, right? So iterations, कोई एक चीज हमें बार बार रिपीट करनी है, then it's called looping. Then nesting controls, एक बड़ा सा पार्ट है जिसके अंदर हमने दूसरा छोटा पार्ट एम्बेड किया, अंदर डाला, and so on. Then break and continue, conditionless jump statements, right? Then go to statement also. So that's the control structure, and then we'll see arrays and strings. So your name is a string, so multiple characters are combined, they create string. Array is something like you have multiple, but you want to refer all those elements with one name, single name. We call it array, and we will see what array deeply means when we start unit number 4. So those are to store your data. It's a structure to store your data. Then we'll see functions. Functions are nothing but a small procedure. Now, if we have a set of steps to be performed, then we are going to write those steps in a function. Function का benefit ये रहेगा कि हम जब चाहे उसको call कर सकेंगे, right? Now, if that function खुद ही को अगर call करता है, then it becomes a recursion, right? अगर function फिर से खुद को call करेगा, खुद को refer करेगा, then it becomes a recursion. So we'll see how we can use those concept functions, recursions in our program. How recursion will actually benefit us. Using recursion, हमारा code कैसे छोटा हो पाएगा. We'll see those examples like Fibonacci series, factorials, and so on. Then there comes a pointer. Pointer is kind of a reference. You refer to something. Indirectly, you are referring to something, then it is a pointer. Then we have a structure. Now, just like array, structure is also used to store some data. But here in structure, whatever data you store need not to be of a same type. एक data आपका number हो सकता है, दूसरा data आपका string हो सकता है, and so on. So that's what the structure is. Then we'll see the dynamic memory allocation, and at the end, we'll see the file management. Well, dynamic memory allocation, I'm not explaining right now because it's very difficult to understand. But when we reach up to this unit number 9, I assure you that you will be capable of understanding this part, because till that time you might have gone through all these things, which will make you able to understand what is my memory allocation. And at the end of this subject, we will be looking at file management. It only covers introduction part, where we will only look at how we can open a file, read that file, and write that file. That's it. So it's functions. We do have some functions already given in C to handle our text files. Okay. So at the end of this entire subject, 10th unit is all about few file handling functions. So that's the content that we are going to cover here. But once you complete this course, okay, This is what you will be able to do. That's your course outcome. If you complete this course properly, then you will be able to formulate algorithms and flowcharts for any given problem. You will be also able to translate those flowcharts and algorithms in a C program using the correct syntax and the syntaxes that we see in unit number 3 and 4. You will also be able to use conditions, branching, iterations, loops, functions, and so on. So if you have a lengthy task, then you will also be able to decompose that lengthy task into number of functions. So अगर बड़ी सी task आपको दी तो आप उसको divide कर दोगे छोटी छोटी tasks में, and then you perform those tasks one by one and you will have the final result. And if we go for the final course outcome, then using C language, you will be able to develop entire application where you take values from user, perform some task, generate some output, print it on the screen, or do whatever you want. If you want to write file, also you will be able to write file, text file, and store it in your computer, right? So that's what you will be able to do if you complete this course properly. Now let's go through some experiment, or let's have a look at some of the experiments here. Then we will discuss what are the textbooks for this. Well, if you look at the experiment list, it's a very lengthy list here, which we are going to perform. Around 60 programs we have. But believe me, these programs are very, very simple and a short program we have here. With only 10 to 15 lines maximum, you will be able to complete most of these programs. Very few programs will require more line of code. So if you understand properly, you will be able to complete more than one, even more than 3 or 4 programs in a single lab. I assure you that. Okay. So in first lab, not exactly the first, but maybe in second lab, you will be able to complete first 5 programs. Then in a third lab, you do more 3 programs. Then you do more 5 programs and so on. So if we be on a time, then we will be able to complete this entire practical list, all 60 programs we can do in this semester. Okay. So as our content of this syllabus is gradually increasing the complexity, and step by step we are learning new concepts of C. Similarly, here in our list of experiments, we start with the very basic C program where we simply do the arithmetic operations, addition, multiplication, division, and so. Then with those operations, we calculate some let's say triangle area or the interest rate, or let's say we interchange 2 numbers. So swapping 2 numbers, we convert distance from kilometer to other units. So this is a very basic arithmetic operations we need to perform here in few of the programs, right? Then later on, when we move forward, we will see how we can use conditional statements, if else. If this, then do this, else you do this, and so on. So some of these programs will be based on those conditional process. Later on, when we move on, we'll see a few more programs based on loops. Okay, you write your loop, for loop, while loop, do while loop. We will understand those loops here. Then later programs will introduce nested loops. So to generate this kind of patterns, you will require nested loop. एक for loop लिखोगे, उसके अंदर दूसरा for loop लिखोगे, and so on. Nesting part here, okay? So we'll do a little bit of nesting part, and we will understand how we can use loop to generate these kind of patterns, okay? Then when we move further, we will see the practicals on array structures. Okay, here you will see one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and so that's the data structure. You'll work on strings. Then further, you will work upon functions and recursions. Okay, and some of the later programs you will work on structure, unit number 8, right? So that's how gradually this program complexity will become complex one. And this entire list is based upon the unit numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? So initially what we will follow is I'm going to show you more of these programs in the lecture session itself. So we will learn theory part, then we directly jump to the program. We will also see how it can be implemented. And later I'll also show you how you can complete your program initially, okay? What you should write and how you should write. But somewhere in the middle point of this semester, I'll stop giving you the solutions of these practicals, because I believe by the time of mid-sem, you will be capable of writing your code on. Fine. So that's what we will follow here. And that's the list of experiments. So in theory sessions, now it's best time to explain one point. All the branches, all the divisions are going to attend the same WebEx meet here for theory lectures, okay? Now, IT department students, I'm going to conduct your lab sessions. Other branch students, currently your EPS lab will not be conducted. So at least I can say until we start physical classes here, 10th April is the time right now. Till that time, you are not going to have any lab sessions for this subject. So you are going to be learning other subjects in that time slot. Later on, when we'll start physical lectures after 10th of April, if possible, then at that time you will have your physical lab sessions here. Okay, so IT students will have lecture as well as lab right now. Other branch students will only have lectures right now. Lab sessions will start for those students later on. Okay, now in lab sessions also I'm going to explain how you should write and where you should write these programs and how you can complete all these list of programs. Well, that's all about topics and practicals. Now, if you focus on reference books here, okay, then this syllabus file consists of everything. You will find everything from this syllabus file, PDF file. And I'm going to upload this PDF file in your e-content so that you can download it and refer it. Now, what I prefer is from this reference book list, I will suggest that you read this one, Programming in ANSI C by Bala Gurusamy. Or you may also go for Let Us See by Yashwant Kanitkar. Now, these two books I'm suggesting because it has a easy language to understand. Okay, these two books has very easy language, English language, and description is very much in a simple way so that you can understand that thing. Now, if any of you are having English background, you are coming from the English medium school and you are capable or comfortable with English, then you may also go for other foreign authors, and you can also read those books. Fine. But for other students, I'll suggest that you go for E. Balagurusamy, author, or you go for Yashwant Kanetkar. And these two books are having simple English language to understand. Fine. So that's what I suggest you to go for. Now we do have all these books in our library here. So when you come to campus, you can use those library resources. You can issue these books and read it. But I'm pretty much sure that these two books are also available on internet, and you'll find those two books in a soft copy. I do not insist that you go for that piracy, but well, if you do not have any other option, then right now you can also search for those book PDFs. Fine. So these are the reference books. Now this file also contains some online resources. So you can also have a look at VLabs from IITs. You can also refer NPTEL tutorials, NPTEL website, and you'll have videos. Then you can also go for Coursera courses, if free courses you have, Coursera or Udemy. Fine. So you can find C language courses freely available on these two platforms also. So these are some of the online resources, but there are plenty of other resources available. Wherever you feel comfortable, you can refer those things, or at least my videos will be there always, and we will be interacting online or physical, whatever mode we have right now or later. And you can ask me your queries, we will solve those queries. Well, so that's all about the syllabus and the content here. Now, many of you have written multiple points in the chat, so let me go through that chat part first. So, a lengthy chat here. Well, okay. Not audible, so that's clear now. Audible now, okay. Now, some of you are asking, do we need to prepare a book for this? Well, not necessarily. I'm not going to ask any of the classwork book from you guys. You can prepare your classwork book for your reference only, okay? So, at the end of the semester, if you quickly want to refer something, then you can prepare your notebook, your let's say, reference book. I'm also going to upload some of the material in e-content, so you can refer those things also. Otherwise, these recorded videos will always be available, and if you have time, you may go through these videos. Then Aryan is asking central processing unit, which has cores and threads. Yes, Aryan, that's what CPU is. It's a processor, and processor consists of CPU, GPU, maybe if it is integrated. It will have memory part, cache memories, and all. So we will understand that structure in unit number 1. Yeah, Bjorn is asking SSDs, fans. Yeah, correct. Your CPU cabinet will have all those things inside. Tushar is asking, sir, only you teach us all 10 chapters, or some other sir will take some chapters? Well, as of now, your theory part is gonna conducted by me. So I'm going to have your lectures for entire semester, entire subject as of now. Okay. With mobile, programming is possible, no? Now with mobile, programming is possible. Well, yes, it is possible. If you are attending these sessions using your mobile, it's okay. No need to have any system or laptop or desktop. Even I'll make you aware of some online websites where you can write your C program and you can run your C program online in your browser itself. Okay. So it's not necessary that you have system always. Fine. Well, some of you has written, you've already gone through C program course. Well, that's well and good. So you will grasp all these things very quickly. Some of you have already also written Java and other languages you have learned. That's fine. ADCA course completed. Okay. Now, what if 10th April के बाद भी possible नहीं हुआ? Well, find it out. We will find other ways to complete everything and go through. Okay. So Dharmik, if not possible after 10th, then we'll find a way to complete everything, even in the lab sessions also. Viraj is asking, meeting record Mercer. Yes, I'm going to upload this recording in the YouTube, and we'll find that YouTube link from your student login lectures tab. So which compiler is the best among GCC, CLang or C language? Well, there are a number of compilers. Hirsch, GCC compiler is there for, it is available in Linux and Mac. CLang is also there. Turbo C is also there. If you want to install those things in your PC, you can. You can also work online. There are a number of online compilers available. There are a number of websites where we can write our C code and run it. So I'll show you those websites also when we start C language. Will this PDF available by today? Well, I'll try. I'll upload this PDF in the e-content. By today or at next tomorrow morning, you'll have this PDF file in the e-content part. Okay. Well, 6012, I don't have name. The students is asking, sir, આટલું બધું practical online study કરવું બહુ difficult થાય છે. Well, yes, it is difficult, but that's what we need to follow because of current situation. અત્યારની situation પ્રમાણે આપણે થોડુંક online study કરવું પડશે અને practice પણ કરવી પડશે. Dharmik is already done. That's great. Programming in Linux terminal. Yes, you can run C programs in Linux. Linux has GCC compiler inbuilt. There are a number of editors also. I'll make you aware of those editors at the time of C programming language when we start. So text editors, I'll show you what text editors you can use to write those code. Vyom is asking, sir, if two processors are there, one have higher single core, other have a higher multi-core score, then which will be better in which field? Look, Vyom, that depends on what kind of usage scenario you have, right? If you see currently all those processor building companies are creating hybrid processors. So they do have multi-core processor, and some of the cores are low clocked, some of the clocks are high performance cores. And to just balance the multiple things, battery life, then the heat generation, and other things also to balance the performance of your all over system, right? But it depends on what kind of a scenario or what kind of process you want to perform on your PC. Based on that, you can decide what kind of processor you should have in your system, right? Okay. Yes, Yusuf is saying IntelliJ IDEA is good. Yes, it is good. IntelliJ IDEA is one of the editor which you can use if you want. There are a number of other editors also. VS Code is good. Yes, VS Code is also good. Look, if I list, then there are a number of text editors or coding editors available. Some of them are not free. Some of them are paid. Some of them are free. You can use those. Atom, VS Code, Bracket, or let's say IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, CodeBlock, Turbo C. It's IDE actually. So we'll see those things. Well, some of you have already learned Java, then you will feel this C program very easy if you have already learned Java, okay? But spoiler aside, let me tell you that I need to address all the students here, and we have some of the students which do not know what is programming language and how we can write code. So my teaching part will be from the base level. If you already know how to do everything, then I'll suggest that please be calm, have patience. At least something new you will learn in every lecture, okay? Well, some of you prefer Sublime Text, that's okay. Okay, CodeBlock, yes, it is there. Minimum space requirement, 4 years of engineering and beyond. What would be the minimum space requirement for 4 years of engineering and beyond? Well, what space you are talking about, I'm not clear. But you can always upgrade your system if you want. So if you are talking about RAM or hard disk, you can upgrade it depending on the type of your system. As of now, we are not planning any certification course here in this subject. What we expect from you guys is at least follow whatever we are going through in the lecture and lab sessions. Learn all these topics and complete all these programs that we have in the practical list. It's more than enough for you guys in second semester at least, okay? So no certification right now. Well, Aaron, yes, it is true. It's hard to upgrade CPU or GPU. Now, if you are having a desktop, then it's possible. But in laptop, it's not possible. But we never rely on those things. Look, every year or so, even in 6 months, you have something new in this field. New processor has been introduced, new GPU has been introduced, and so on. You always focus on what kind of work you have and what configuration is enough for your work. That's what you should be focused on. Yeah. So it's time. Let's conclude this session here. And what we have gone through today is we have seen and we have gone for the overview of this entire subject. The topics, practical list, reference books, outcomes, then the teaching scheme, and what you should be going through, practicals and assignments. I'll upload all these content, PDF files, reference materials in the e-content. So you should be referring your student login e-content always. Yeah, about attendance, I'm going to have your attendance from the attendee list. So I'm going to fetch your email IDs from that attendee part. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And see you tomorrow in the next lecture. Thank you.